What's going on, guys? I wanted to come on real quick. Kind of had a slower day. I had a rain out this morning, but as you guys know, I sometimes get not more than sometimes. I get messages from folks, around the country, which I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. But just asking for advice on how did I do this? What would they advise on that? Or what would I advise on that? So I wanted to read one. I like doing these Q&As just to maybe other people would get some benefits as well. I'm not going to use the real names, but I'm going to call him Jerry. Jerry from Georgia reached out to me on Instagram and would like to know a couple questions. I'm going to read it, and then I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. It says, "Good evening. I'm from Atlanta. I've been following you, and I love what you did. I currently have a full-time job, but it's super flexible, and I know I can start window washing on the side part-time. I'm super hands-on with a lot of house building experience. How did you overcome some of the mental thoughts of the thought of not working out or working hard but seeing no results? How did you deal with the competition from around you? Any help would greatly be appreciated. I guess is that I need a push from others. I have the confidence to jump out on my own. I've always had to check on Fridays, and that's what scares me. Any help would be appreciated. First and foremost, thank you for taking the time to reach out to me. And I'll kind of tell you what my thinking was when I first started, and kind of go from there. So like his first question was, how'd you overcome some of the mental thoughts of the thought of not working out or working hard but not seeing so results? So when I first started this, I honestly did not have any expectation. I was working full time. I didn't know enough of the industry, of what it was capable of to have those expectations. I think in the last few years, it's really kind of grown in popularity, but more people are taking advantage of the, especially at younger ages, taking advantage of the industry and kind of jumping in because they're seeing like people like myself or other folks that kind of make it public of what you can do with it, and how you can make it a career, a business. But when I first started, I didn't really dive in too much that quickly. I just knew that people would pay me to clean their windows. And I was super cheap at the time because I really, to be honest, didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of just faking it until I made it. And I really didn't have a whole lot of expectations, which means I didn't have really any fears. And I was already working full time, so I didn't really think about that. To be honest, I didn't even want to go full time with this when I first started for the first year or two. I think that first year I made $8,000, and I did it from July to October. It was just all word of mouth. I didn't have any money, to spend on marketing or anything. And it was just weekends and afternoons. So, it was just kind of on a whim, and I was just kind of taking it day by day and taking the jobs and doing my best to learn and to go online and to dive into other people. And I just didn't really have any super high expectations, to be honest with you, until I really got the cusp of what it could do, right? Once I started seeing, and I wasn't even charging that much, to be honest. I think I was between $4 and $6 a window at the time, and which was fine because I was still learning. A lot of those first time, early on clients, which I still do, some of them to this day, not at that price, but I was just kind of using them as guinea pigs. And, half of the job is making sure you're presentable, making sure you smell well, making sure you have the proper equipment. You just got to look professional, smell professional, be courteous, be polite. That is half the battle. And if you can kind of get that done and make your way into I don't know why a thumbs down just went. That was weird. If you can kind of make your way into the home, half the battle's done. Do the job. Do it right. Do as best you can. Take your time. My first job, I remember, my first couple, one of them was a lake house, and they had 2.5-story windows it was so over my head. But I did my best. I was there all day, and it came out okay. It wasn't the best, but it came out okay. My next job was in an early morning, and it was this older couple's house, and it was very humid that morning, and the windows kept fogging up on me, and I I could not see once I like sprayed the solution on them. I think I was using like Windex with vinegar at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was just having the hardest time. And then I go inside to do the interiors and I open up the sills, the tracks, and there's just like a whole ecosystem in the tracks. It was terrible. They ended up feeding me lunch. I was there for probably like 9 hours, dude. It was insane. Absolutely insane. So, I mean, we all got to start somewhere. I would try to not let the fear grip you, man. I mean, especially if you have a full-time job, you don't need the money that you're trying to accumulate, right? Like you're wanting the money. You don't need it. You want it. So, I mean, I would say, you know, do the best you can. Lay your foundation first, man. Lay your foundation. Make sure you have an image. Make sure you have a brand. Make sure you have the t-shirts. Make sure you have the equipment. Like, you don't need water fed right away, but get a good professional squeegee. Get a good bucket. Get a good scrubber. Like, get the things. You're gonna need a little bid of money. You could probably go on some of these sites that sell that stuff and spend $300-400 and get a good setup. So how'd you overcome some of the mental thoughts of it not working out or working hard but seeing the results? How did you deal with the competition from around you? I did not pay attention to much of the competition around me. I didn't know much about the competition around me. I know I have a local fish, but I don't really care about any of that. I was a lone dude trying to find some windows to clean, and that was my like thing. Unless you're like super oversaturated, which some towns are, unless you're super oversaturated. I mean, I live in an area, thankfully, where there's just so much glass, so many people. I live in Southwest Michigan, but there's just so many towns that have copious amounts of people. I didn't really have to worry about, folks, like other companies. There's not many around me, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, once I start marketing next year, like I'm really thinking I'm not going to have a problem. I've hit a little bit of a slowdown this year, but don't worry about what your competition's doing. There's always enough glass for everybody. That's kind of how I see it. That's not true probably everywhere, but in my area it is. Atlanta, you're probably going to have a little bit more, but you got to try to stay in your lane. Be the best you can be. Show the people. You got to sell the people on yourself, on your company, on your brand. Tell them what sets you apart. Find your niche. Find what you can do the best and do it. If you worry about everybody else, you can never focus on yourself. And that's what's going to push your brand, push your business, and get you to where you want to be. Any help would be great. Appreciate it. I guess that I need a push from others, the confidence to jump in on my own. Honestly, here's my thoughts with just like everything kind of wrapped up in a nutshell. If you want to start it, go start it. Okay, you can constantly look around you. You can constantly look at other people. You can constantly strike the fears in your head. I'm dealing with the same thing right now with growing. Like I've made it 0 to 100,000. Like, no problem. I just hit 100,000 a month or two earlier than I did last year. Like, I'm growing at a really consistent rate, right? But now I'm thinking of like all of the if, ands, whats, or buts about growing. Like, I'm letting, and I'm working on it, and I'm working with a coach, and I'm doing the things I need to do. But you still got to deal with your inner thoughts about, okay, what if it doesn't work out? What if I don't have enough jobs? What if I don't have enough money because I have to put it on marketing and my employees and all that? Like, I got to take care of my family first. I've heard guys with 5, 6 trucks say, "Oh, I wish it was just me in a bucket again." Like, I mean, you have to work through all of that and set your mind. It's a mind game, and you got to set your mind straight. If you want to do it, go do it. Plain and simple. Don't worry about anyone around you. Get the education that you need to start and go start. If you network, find companies around you that benefit yours. Meet people that are in the houses you want to be in. Get the image, get the brand, get the name, get the insurance. For the love of God, get the insurance. Don't cheap out. Don't just be a bucket Bill or a bucket Bob or whatever, and you just want to go door to door. Door to door is fine early on, but it's not going to get you the consistent client leads that you need. You're probably not getting their email when you're going door to door. You're probably not getting their address or their phone numbers. You're probably not getting the information stored in your CRM. Get a CRM. That will help once you get consistent client flow. You're probably not getting that, information, so you can have them as recurring clients. The best thing about window cleaning and owning a business is that it's so easy to have for a solo guy, 500 to 800 people And you're busy year round, man. Like, you are busy. You have recurring clients. Try my best to book clients, especially this year for next year already. June's almost booked next year. Like, that's a hot month for me. Like, it's so easy. Roofers, painters, I mean, even pressure washers, they have a lot more trouble finding clients because they don't need you as nearly as often. Excuse me. As Jersey says, you want to be in that client's home or outside of the home every 6 months, man. You want to be booking these people every 6 months. I try to book them twice a year. So every 6 months, I guess. I do in and outs in the spring and outs in the fall. Okay. And some people get it more, some people get it less, whatever. But that's kind of where you want to start. I tell people too, call your competition. Tell them where you live. Say, hey, I got this house. What would you guys charge to clean this? Ask for estimates. And then you can get a kind of ballpark. If they're like, at, maybe $10 to $12 a window, maybe you should start at, maybe 7 to 8. You're going to want clients, and that's a good way. You're making money, but you're also, I'm not going to say you're undercutting the competition, but you kind of know where you're going to start, right? Like, you got to start somewhere. You don't have the experience. I've created a brand. I've created a Google presence. I've created a Facebook presence. I've created an Instagram presence. I have the insurance. I have the clothing. Like, I've created a premium brand, so now I can charge a premium. If you don't have anything set up, why do you want to charge like the most when you're not going to probably be the best right away? And, I'm not saying you need to go out there and be like, oh, I'm the best window cleaner out there, because you can be a mediocre window cleaner and still kill it. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of guys are like, you got to get every window clean, 100% clean every time. Half the battle setting expectations. If that window has hard water on it, if it has all this stuff on it, like, it's not going to be the best. But you have to setting the expectation with the client beforehand and doing a walkthrough and doing a walkthrough after, and having them do a walkthrough after, whatever, just to set everything straight, make sure everybody's happy, so you can get that 5-star review, so you can move on to the next. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. If you have any more questions, let me know. You're probably watching this. If you got anything out of this at all, throw me a like down there. I'd love to get to 20 likes on this. Just slowly trying to build this brand, guys. And once again, I am an ambassador for Tucker over here. If you guys need any water-fed cleaning stuff, solar cleaning equipment, poles, brushes, machines, I can set you up. I can tell you what I would recommend. I can give you a code to save money. So if you're looking for anything in that realm, give me a shout. Catch you.